Hello everybody and welcome to the channel. Today we are going to make a video about bow hunting, how to use the bows, the different scopes on Way of the Hunter, because many missions on the storyline and some tasks and jobs ask you to use the bow, so you have to learn to use the bow. We just shot a Cape Buffalo. That was the first try that I missed. On the second shot, I made a hard shot. I'm using a bare bow, no scope, and as well, I am not using the hunter sense that tells you where the arrow is gonna land. With the buffaloes, let them approach you and then they will turn around and then you get your opportunity to shoot them. So in this case we were doing the mission the string of a bow. We needed to double lung a male Cape buffalo, and that's how we did it. We let the buffalo approach us, and once he turned around we shot him with the bow. Okay, another missions, you need a greater kudu that weighs more than 200 and something kilo, I don't remember now. I use a collar hid on a bush, and I taken down to a greater kudu that I lured in with a collar, but that will be another guide. The first two were adults, so they didn't reach the weight that was asked for the mission. So bear in mind that the older the animal is, the more they weigh. So we are looking for a mature. So these two guys were adults and they didn't reach the weight. So I tried again. First one down, and now since that the pack spooks, but the ones that are still under the effect of the color stay there. That gave me the chance to shoot a second one, which was a mature. So there you see the shots. I didn't have the chance to change the siren. That's a mature, which is gonna give me the mission accomplished for the greater kudu that needs to wait. Married with children, that was the mission. So the older they are, the more they weight. The higher rating, the more the weight as well. Okay, let's talk about the bow. The SKYE FERRAN Wonder comes, you don't need to buy the DLC to get this bow from the shop. SKYE VORTEX switch is exactly the same as the SKYE VORTEX lock-on, just with more fancy colors, but I found the latest, this one, the SKYE VORTEX lock-on, much easier to use without a scope. OVERGAARD Perfect Mount Red Dot. This is the easiest scope to use. It will be making your life easier. This one, the 3-pin scope, you cannot change the siren. It is fixed. Okay, this is what I have. I don't have active this thing on the hunter sense, so I don't see where the arrow is gonna land. I rather doing it without that activated. Okay, this is the basic bow, tier 2 to 5, so it's not good for animals on tier 6. And that's the thing where you put the scope. If you go bare bow as I do, it's not good. This is the VORTEX switch. It's fancy colors, very nice colors for a girl like me, but as you can see there is black on the scope. So I'm rather using this one. Why? Because it's red. That V there is red. As I go in without scope, it helps me to land my arrows easier. So this is my the one I have on my loadout. Okay, let's have a look again. See the difference? That one is black. Best way to practice. Go to any parking lot, daytime if you can, and set a marker with your rhinos and then shoot on the P, because it's much easier than on the shooting range. So I'm going bare bow. I'm using a compound, but I am using it as it was a traditional bow because I don't want to use a scope. So there you see. Since that in Africa is not that windy as it is on other maps, as you will see at the end of the video. For example, I do at the end of the video on the shooting range in Transylvania is much more windier. Okay, the 3-pin dot by default comes at 3 distance. You cannot change. 25 meters for the first dot, 53 meters for the second dot, and then 71 meters for the third dot down. So depending on the distance you are, you use the first dot for 25, the second dot for 33, 53, and the third dot for 71 meters. And now let's go with the red dot, which is this easier one. You just adjust the zeroing depending on the distance. Max zero distance is 60 meters. Okay, this will make your life much easier than any other scope. So we're gonna shoot from 50 meters. So we 0 to 50, and it's gonna go spot on. You will see. Here you see how accurate it is. It's the best scope to use with the bow. It's the more accurate of the two of them. As you can see, I rather go bare bow. A bare bow, well, no scope. So it's a bit more tricky, and I don't have the hunter sense on the arrow where the arrow is gonna land activated, so I'm practicing a lot to be able to use the bow without a scope, and I'm doing quite well. Actually, I shot a lot of animals without it. I did all my missions without the scope, and good enough. I'm good enough with the bow to do all the missions. Well, not all of them. I'm not gonna shoot a flying goose with a bow, even with a scope on it. I know I won't be able to do that mission, so I able to pass for the first time in the game. So I'm from 20 meters away, using the parking sign as a target, and straight in the middle. That's where I am in, on the middle of the P, without scope. And once you get used to it, it's much more intuitive. If I'm using a scope, I lose time trying to adjust it. Okay, daytime. Again, I'm trying to aim to the P there, on the center of the P. What distance I am, I cannot see. I'm too far from the screen, and my screen is so small. You're gonna have to 30 meters. I am 30 meters away. Let's see where the arrow lands. Not good. Okay, let's give it another go from 30 meters again. this time. Good. In the middle, that's what we wanted. Okay. Let's use the red dot. The red dot, you change the zeroing. The max zeroing for all the bows except from the one that used the 3-pin is 60 meters. Okay, then you will have to rise. If you are aiming more than 60 meters, you're gonna have to rise a little bit the bow to compensate the difference of distance. You have to put max 0 and 60, and then I am a little higher. As you can see, the red dot is the much easier to use than the 3-pin, and obviously the bow without scope. We are 50 meters away, and let's see where it lands. Quite accurate, as you can see. Okay, that's the one. I'm aiming to the very center of the P. Okay, now we're gonna use the 3-pin. 25 meters, 53 and 71. You cannot change the distances. You cannot change the zeroing. Okay, 21 meters, so not bad. Now we're gonna try from 35 or 31. I'm sorry, I can't see this. I cannot see. 50 meters. Okay, let's try 50 meters with the 3-pin dot. 51 meters. We use the second dot, the orange one, as reference. Aiming to the center of the P. And let's see where it lands. Okay, it went a bit lower. That's the one, it went low. Okay, now I'm gonna go without scope from 50 meters. And let's see where it lands. The wind is coming from my left, 5 meters per second. No strong wind. Well, no bad. Bit high, but that's alright. Going without scope and without hunter sense is good enough for me. Now we're in Transylvania with quite a strong wind from my left and going without a sight on the scope, no scope. That's why I'm using this one, because the V tells you where you need to aim. As you can see, I move a little bit the bow to the left to compensate for the wind, and I'm not doing that bad from 20 meters, obviously. It's not that difficult. But I will make another video. See, I'm pretty accurate from 20 meters, compensating the wind. Don't move a lot, actually, the bow, just a few millimeters. Don't move centimeters, just move a few millimeters, because otherwise the arrow is gonna go too far to the sides. So it's millimeters to compensate for the wind or for the distance. Move up and down. Sides, sorry, millimeters, no centimeters. Okay, this was the guide for archery. I hope it helps, and I see you soon on the next guide. Thank you for watching. Good hunting, and ciao ciao. Bye.